Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the Ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Former President Ulysses S. Grant said this: "Hold fast to the Bible as the sheet anchor of your liberties. Write its precepts on your heart and practice them in your lives. To the influence of this book, we are indebted for the progress made, and to this, we must look as our guide in the future." How true. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America. And we need a patriot to call in with our Pledge of Allegiance. Ah, yes, Independence Day weekend. Good morning. Oh, thank you very much, and welcome to Zeb at the Ranch on a Thursday. And we're really looking forward to today because we're going to have a lot of patriotism here on the show. And, of course, we're brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, along with Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, and our friends at Valleywide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch. Really taking care of the 4-H'ers with all their project needs right there at Valleywide. And right now, let's say good morning to a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, Zeb.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Would you give us the pledge? I'm great. Give us the pledge, please.
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
By the way, I want to say this, Linda, and it's kind of superseding some of my remarks I'm going to make in a few moments. All I can say is God gave you a very special gift, that beautiful voice to sing the national anthem better than anyone, and God bless you for what you did last night.
Oh, Zeb, thank you. That was a tremendous honor.
Well, you were fabulous. Thank you for your call this morning, and have a great Independence Day weekend.
I will, and you too, and that was a tremendous ceremony.
All right. Linda, always appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty. It is time now to get the weather in here. And the weather is brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door. Oh, goodness. Today is Thursday. I got to quickly check my papers here and find out what we've got for special acknowledgments on Thursday. We have Thrifty Thursday. Pick solid, classy pieces of furniture to ground the room. Then get inexpensive pieces to infuse your own personality and style. There's a little tip for you from Cheney Flooring and Home Design. Always helping to make your house a home at Cheney Flooring and Home Design. All the carpet and flooring, kitchen construction, home decor items, everything. And right now, here is the weather.
Here's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Pretty much the same as it has been for the last couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 60. Tomorrow, winds picking up out of the west, right around 12 miles an hour. So that basically means it's going to feel like a hot blow dryer. Mostly sunny skies, high of 97 with an overnight low of 63. For the 4th of July proper, mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 66. Sunday and Monday, maybe some reprieve. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, Highs are going to be in the upper 80s. That's your weather forecast for Zebit the Ranch.
Thank you very much. Brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley, 678-6945. Look for the blue door. Hey, Merv May, come on in here.
All right, it gets the steer calves here to get all 31, 1, 31, 32.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, and the number to call the office for information on today's sale starting at 10:30, 678-9411. Merv May, Cade Rogge, and Lance Udy, all serving you at the sale that works for you. Here's just a partial list of some of the cattle coming in today. Alan Kunzler up at Park Valley, a semi-load of butcher cows, and P-Bar S Dairy of Malda, semi-load of cows. TLK Dairy out of Mountain Home, Idaho, semi-load of butcher cows, and the Antelope Hills Dairy at Burley, 50 head of cows, and Betancourt Dairy, 52 Holstein heifers, along with a good, real good trailer line run of cattle. You be there at 10:30 this morning for the Burley Livestock Sale Yard sale this week, 10:30 today, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, it gets the steer calves here to get all 31, 1, 31, 32, 2, 3, 134, 4, 5, 135, 50, 135, $7.35. Zeb Bell, get bottom.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Good morning, everybody, and we've got a lot of things to cover. And in just a moment, I'm going to talk about that Idaho Roll Call Memorial that took place last night, so stay tuned. First and foremost, our thanks go out to Ramsey Heating and Electric, and they do have all the air filters for your air conditioner. Last couple of days, I mean, woo, baby. I mean, I've been finding some shade to kind of shade up for a little bit in the afternoon, take a little siesta. Anyway, they've got all your air conditioner filters right there at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 678-0459, open 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and always remember, warm winters, cool summers through Ramsey Heating and Electric. Wonderful people. And when you say wonderful people, naturally, you got to say that about Valley White Home and Ranch. They are. And I keep telling everybody at 910 South Oneida in Rupert, they've got all your 4-H needs. All you have to do if you're a 4-H'er is go on in there, show your 4-H card, and receive a 10% discount on what you purchase, whether it's the feed for your livestock or all your boots and pants and your shirts that you need for your showing of your livestock, whatever. Just get on in there. They are the 4-H headquarters right there at Valley White Home and Ranch. And they got all they say tons and tons of flying bug spray. The bugs are getting thick. You get on in there, and they've got the stuff to get rid of those obnoxious little critters at Valley Wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. You stop in and see them today. Excuse me. I don't know exactly how many people were there last night at the Idaho Roll Call Memorial. I don't know how many people were touched like I was at the ceremony, but it was beautiful. I'm going to have a hard time with this story, I think, because my emotions I wear on my sleeve sometimes, and last night really got to me. America was at its best last night in Rupert, Idaho. Absolutely at its best. There were cowboys, office workers, military, motorcycle clubs, and more, standing shoulder to shoulder to honor our brave, our military. Now, I met so many nice folks last night after the ceremony, and that meant so much. Many of whom, like me, had tears in their eyes of gratitude for that event last evening. And to say thank you to everyone that was involved, I don't want to miss anybody's name. I don't want to miss any part of their function because it took so many people to make it successful last night. And in the span of about only 45 minutes, that was one of the most touching ceremonies that I have ever attended in my life. And I want to give, though, credit and special thanks to two people that really kind of quarterbacked this whole thing. And even though initially they were met with some criticism, they overcame the criticism and, rose to levels up in the clouds. And that's, of course, George and Donna Mass. I really want to tell them how much I appreciate that, because I was honored to be the master of ceremonies of the event last night. I was honored to be able to sit there and listen carefully to everything that was said and not said. I was honored to look out into the crowd and look at the faces. And, you can tell so much by just looking at someone's face and reading the stories on their face about what they thought about the event. They're caring. They're possibly remembering someone from their family that had given the ultimate for our country. And, man, it's hard for me to describe. I've got goosebumps right now. The feelings that took place last night, knowing that event last evening was possibly the very nicest event that could be and would be held on this Independence Day weekend. It was first class all the way. Thanks to the people involved. God bless every one of them. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to remind everybody about Denny's Restaurant, and they do such a wonderful job of serving you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And believe me, I've been there for all of them. I guarantee you they've got excellent service. Thomas and Terry, the whole crew, everybody. And like I said, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Now, my favorite meal is breakfast. And oh my goodness, the menu selections for breakfast are unlimited and fantastic. And they've got a new location, too, at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. So 611 Overland and Burley, 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls, with the very best of food for you and your family, and that's Denny's Restaurant, 611 Overland in Burley. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't you dare go away. Stand by also for the best of all your equipment needs, and they do have the equipment to get the job done right. Barry Equipment and Rental, with locations on Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, South Lincoln and Jerome, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. They've got it all for you. Lease or buy, they've got the equipment sitting right there. Just go in, take a test drive, learn about it, buy it, lease it. It's all there at Barry Equipment and Rental. And, of course, like I said, they're located in Twin Falls, Jerome, and 159 West Highway 30. You stop in to Barry Equipment and Rental. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Zeb.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank everybody that participated yesterday. It was very emotional from the riders coming in to the playing with the taps and all the speakers. Donna and I was just out of a wheel, and it will not roll without the spokes. And so there is so many that took their time and dedication to make that possible.
I know, and I appreciate that. And it was an honor to be a part of it last night. And when those motorcycles pulled up and they cranked it up a little bit, oh my, I just got from the base of my spine clear up to my ears, goosebumps as big as eggs. And I'll guarantee you the patriotism last night was absolutely phenomenal.
It was when the riders revved up those bikes, the ground actually shook. It was just, there's so many people to thank. I don't want to mention no names, don't want to leave nobody out. But, Lord, we were blessed with patriotism in our community. We've had riders from, I think, all over the state. I know some come out of Twin. But it was just very rewarding to put the call out and get the reception we got. Absolutely.
All right, George, thank you so much for calling in this morning.
All right, Zeb, and all the listeners out there, thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Thank you, George Mass. Appreciate it. It was heartwarming. In a cesspool of bad news every day, And really, we are living in a cesspool of bad news. Last night was just such a refresh. It was like taking a cleansing shower to look at the red, white, and blue flags and look at the faces and look at the patriotism and look at the salutes to the flag and listen to the rumble of those big Harleys as they came into Rupert last night. Oh, wow. I know, there's probably some out in the audience say, what do you mean, you're a cowboy, what about Harleys? No, hey, listen, man. These people that rode in on those motorcycles last night, God bless every one of them. Oh, I mean, the show of patriotism by any and all last evening, it just left me with a feeling like there is hope. There is a way to turn this country around and make it like it used to be. Yes, we need to get into a time machine and go back to the past to make the future better. Absolutely. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
That was a very awesome ceremony, and we enjoyed it so very much.
Lorna, that was nice of you to be there with your friends last evening, and I didn't get a chance. I owe you an apology. I did not get a chance to get over and say hello. Please forgive me, but thank you for being there.
It was really awesome. We enjoyed it so much, and I really liked the way you started it out with the comparison of New York City and Idaho.
Well, I appreciate that. I was a little hesitant to do that when I thought about it, but I'm glad I did. And I'm going to talk about that story next. I'm so glad you brought that up. But to you and everybody that braved the hot temperatures last night to come over there, it was wonderful.
But the temperature, the weather, everything just, I mean, we didn't sit there sweltering hot.
No.
We had the shade. There was a little breeze. It was just a very, very enjoyable evening.
Kind of goes along with the phraseology, God shed his grace on thee, isn't it?
For sure.
Lorna, thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
You too.
Lorna brought something up I want to talk about here in just a minute, so stay tuned. Another part of a 4th of July Independence Day, a little bit of a kind of a twist of fate, if you will. Stay tuned for that. BASF, committed to successful agriculture. May I say that again? I bit my tongue. Caller, I'll be right there. BASF, committed to successful agriculture in helping you with excellent research to help grow bigger, better, stronger crops. Absolutely. Every Monday, Ron Ellis, my dear buddy, comes on the program and we talk about BASF and products like, of course, Preaxor and Endura and many, many more to help curb the problems of white mold in the potatoes and, of course, the powdery mildew in the sugar beets. All of this and much, much more. Find out more about BASF and all their great agricultural chemicals for your crops. Fieldmen and crop advisors, Ron Ellis, 431-6776. They wish you and yours a very happy Independence Day weekend from BASF. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Zeb. You know, with Independence Day weekend and so forth, I would suggest everybody get the Declaration of Independence out and read it as a family, and they'll realize we're right back to where we were before the first revolution.
Yep.
To declare our independence.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
It's more than patriotic to attend all kinds of nice celebrations and everything, and I'm sure your program last night was phenomenal from what your description, but we've got every person that calls or makes an email to a senator or congressman is 1,000. You represent 1,000 people. And so there's just not many people are picking up the phone or sending the emails to get what we want back as far as restoring this country.
I agree. Adrian, and we're going to try to do a little bit of what you just said at the very end of the program this morning. Thank you for your call, sir.
Everybody everybody have a happy Independence Day and be safe.
All right. God bless. Thank you very much. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't go away. I'll be right with you. And don't forget, too, Rupert's 4th of July celebration saying salute our troops. 89th annual 4th of July celebration for Independence Day. And today, of course, on this July the 2nd, the food booths and the patriotic program tonight at 6:30 p.m. Oh, that's right there in the city park. It's going to be good. Always is. You better believe it. Carnival, and tomorrow, of course, at 6 p.m. at the fairgrounds, lawnmower races, and the big 4th of July parade. Coming up this Saturday at 11 a.m. Rupert's 4th of July celebration for Independence Day. Salute our troops. Don't you miss it. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, I hobbled over there. I was a chick, and I headed straight for the shade. But I was so impressed with your singers, with the patriotic flag program there, you know, the guy, our old flag, and the motorcycles coming in, and boy, when they wound them up, you heard nothing, you thought of nothing, you thought you were somewhere where angels were singing. It was just a beautiful, beautiful ceremony all the way around, and I was so proud to see some of the nicest people that live in the world there.
Absolutely.
It was just a great, great, great day.
And again, my apologies. I couldn't get around and visit with everybody last night. Jerry, I'm sorry. I apologize. But thank you for being there and being a part of Independence Day history. It was really nice.
It really was. And you know, you did get around and talk to me, because when you turned on the mic, you were talking to me and every other person there. So don't ever think you didn't get around. You touched every person that was there's heart, because it was just a marvelous, and I do mean marvelous, program to be at.
Oh, Jerry, thank you very much. Now, you've kind of made my eyes sweat a little bit. Thank you so much. God bless you, my dear friend.
You have a wonderful day, and may the Lord bless.
He already has.
Boy, he sure blessed me last night.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. Thank you very, very much. Wow. That was very nice. Excuse me. I got bubbled up there just a second. Very good man right there, Jerry Voss. Hey, we're going to take a little bit, and then I want to tell you about another story relating to Independence Day. And when I heard the results of this story, it made me swell up with pride. Stand by, because we're going to have right now the Ag Minute, and brought to you by the Capitol Press, but also sponsored by Mount Harrison Audiology and the lovely Christine Pickup, Doctor of Audiology, right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room, and the number to call, 312-0957. Hearing loss is not a part of aging. It's not normal, and you need to have it checked. If you're losing your hearing, she can help and will. You'd better believe it. Call for a hearing screening today, 312-0957, and call Mount Harrison Audiology. Right now, here's the Capitol Press Ag Minute.
Today's Ag Minute brought to you by the Capitol Press, the West Ag Weekly.
Public agencies and private companies have invested more than $1 billion in the Lower Columbia River Navigation Channel and facilities since it was deepened 5 years ago, a new study says. The Pacific Northwest Waterways Association in Port of Portland released a study outlining the $1.8 billion in public and private investments. The United States Army Corps of Engineers spent $180 million to deepen the 110-mile navigation channel from 40 feet to 43 feet. The dredging was completed in 2010. The study also documented investments in grain export facilities, mineral bulk export facilities, and rail and road infrastructure, all in completion of the channel deepening project. For the Capitol Press Ag Minute, I am Raul Peña.
For more agriculture news and information, turn to the West Ag Weekly, the Capitol Press, and CapitolPress.com.
All right, thank you very much. And again, our thanks to Christine Pickup. This lady is so nice to work with, and I went for a hearing screening, and she absolutely helped me. Right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room, is her office at 312-0957. Please, I implore you, call for a hearing screening today from Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Hey, don't forget every Monday at 8:31 we give away a half dozen cinnamon rolls to Sophie's. She's going to love that. Sophie's Chatterbox at 530 East Street in Rupert. And by golly, I'll tell you what, she's got air conditioning to go on in and enjoy great food during this Independence Day weekend. And to celebrate the 4th, they're selling red, white, and blue pancakes. I got to get some of those. And they have pie and ice cream and all the goodies. Ooh, it sounds good. At Sophie's Chatterbox, 530 East Street in Rupert. Oh, my goodness, you stop over and see them today. I'll tell you that other story in just a moment, but right now, Wheels is going to tell us about the Silver State Stampede.
Nevada's oldest rodeo, the Silver State Stampede, thunders into Elko July 9th, 10th, and 11th for family entertainment at its best. This PRCA-sanctioned rodeo brings you the thrill of rodeo riders going head-to-head in one of the world's toughest sports, rodeo. The action kicks off on Thursday with the annual kickoff party, including a tri-tip dinner, mutton busting, the Old West bronc riding, and dancing to the music of the Jeff Palmer Band. Things heat up on Friday and Saturday with PRCA rodeo action, the Ring of Fear, mutton busing, and all the fun, music, and dancing you can handle. And don't forget on Saturday, it's tough enough to wear pink. Pick up your tickets today at Roy's, the J.M. Capriola Company, the Boot Barn, IFA, or the Elko Chamber Office. Nevada's oldest rodeo, the Silver State Stampede, thundering into Elko July 9th, 10th, and 11th. Family entertainment at its very best.
Oh, that's it. We're going to be down at Elko next week. I'll tell you what, it's going to be ripping good fun. Elkie Mariluch is going to be on the program a little bit later on this morning to tell us more. Right now, calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Last night, when I opened the program last night for the memorial, I did draw a little bit of a line between two great events. One not so great, of course, because we were worried about what would happen in New York City with people that absolutely hated our country and hated our military and hated our flag and hated our policemen. And I made the comment last night that here we were in Rupert, Idaho, celebrating America, celebrating what made America great and what has kept America great. But I was very, very worried at the same time last night. Things were not supposed to go so well for our flag and our country. Well, let me bring you an update as to what happened in New York City last night. And yes, to all the millennials out there, you got your comeuppance, and it was necessary. I grinned, I chortled, I laughed. I just felt really good when I heard this. Things didn't go well for the millennials and the America haters last night in New York City. You know why? They got put down. I mean, they got squashed like a bug. Good. Because when they started their activity in that New York City park last night, oh, look who showed up. Our veterans en masse. Marines, Air Force, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, veterans, big burly veterans. And they walked right up and they got in the face of these people, these absolute destitute of any feeling people, these millennials that don't know come here from Sikkim, those millennials that absolutely, if they got a paper cut, they think they're going to die, these worthless America haters, and they said, go ahead. Strike the first match and burn those flags. Go ahead. See what happens. Well, they became wild-eyed, and why, you can't do this? Why, we need help, and who did they call? You're way ahead of me. Yes, they ran to the police. I just absolutely laughed when I heard about this and saw it on the news. They ran to the police because they were feeling they needed protection. And they probably did. And I'm glad they felt that way. The veterans of our military showed up, and they looked in their eyes, nose to nose, chin to chin, and these millennials, these sickos, these America haters backed down. There was one picture that absolutely told it all, about a frizzy-haired woman that looked about 30 years of age, and she was spouting off about how she hated America, and a vet walked right up and looked her in the eye. Didn't say anything, didn't have to. And she knew that she'd better get on the next boat out of that area. This was wonderful. This was wonderful. These gutless wonders backed off. And the vets really spoiled their party last night. And I am so honored to tell you this, because these millennials, and by the way, they took a poll. I got to tell you this because it just makes me feel so happy. 55% of the millennials, you know, these young punks that have never done anything, never accomplished anything, never tried to do anything, say that they would leave the United States. Well, let me tell you, here am I. And if it costs $2,000 round trip on a plane ticket to go back there, I'll pay it gladly out of my pocket to help them pack. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
I'll go with you.
All right, buddy.
Hey, I didn't hear that this morning. I missed the news this morning about what happened back there, but that's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. It just makes me, it instills my faith in America, because I'd love to see thumbs down on these rodents, thumbs down on these bugs that hate America, but when they're pushed into a corner, they run and hide. And then they got to call the police because they were afraid.
Well, that's the great part of it. They're wanting to disarm the police, but yet they call the police for protection.
Bingo.
I mean, hello, let's wake up and smell the roses.
You know, and there's such a bunch of frauds and phonies and cowards. They're basically yellow-backed cowards, because, boy, some of these vets walked up there, and a couple of these guys looked like they could pick a Jeep up in each hand, and they just stared at them. And, I mean, some of these wild-eyed millennials, they knew the end was near.
Well, at least they got a little bit of common sense to know when to shut up.
I'm telling you, I loved it. There's going to be people that are going to say, well, they were intimidated. Damn right.
Damn right they were. They were trying to intimidate us, but it kind of backfired on us.
I loved every second of that, hearing this story. I mean, I told Deanne, I said, man, it just gives me a new refurbishment of life. I feel generated now. Wow! I'm so tickled that these vets went right up and got in these wild-eyed millennials' faces, and they backed and ran.
Yep, just like the vets that rode in on the motorcycles last night.
Oh, yeah.
That was impressive, wasn't it?
Oh, let me tell you something. I've been to a couple of county fairs and a hog calling contest in my life, but when they cranked those engines up last night, I told you the goosebumples just really covered my whole fat body.
Yep, and I was honored. They asked me to ride in with them, so I rode in with them, and it was quite an experience.
And I got to tell you that there were many, many, many of them that stopped me last night going over to my car to come home. I'm getting bubbly-eyed on this, Doug. Doggone it. I didn't want to show my emotions on my sleeve, but many of them come over and slapped me on the shoulder and shook hands. And, wow, it was a very emotional time for me last night.
Yep, it was for everybody. And the people that were there were really moved. And the people that weren't there, you missed a great ceremony.
That was America last night. That was the apple pie, mom, wave the flag, 4th of July fireworks. That was America last night the way it should be. Pride in our country, pride in our people, pride in our military, pride in our achievements. And boy, if I could have jumped on an airplane right after our ceremony at Rupert and zoop all the way to the East Coast and been there to laugh and sneer at these no good, worthless millennials and America haters, oh, that would have been the culmination of a great evening.
That'd been the icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
Oh, man, with chocolate sauce on the ice cream.
Hey, you keep it up, Zeb.
All right, buddy.
Good work, and God bless, and have a safe weekend.
I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not kidding. I thought about this. It's too bad we couldn't just be in some kind of a time warp or something to where all of a sudden, zip, zip, we could be right over in another location, because I would have loved to been there last night and watched and been a part of the veterans going right up to these no good, worthless millennials. And that's what they are. I don't soften my words, for heaven's sakes. We have worthless people in this country that are nothing but degenerates and taking away from the value of this country, and that's what these punks are. And they walked right up and said, go ahead, strike the first match. Woo-hoo! I love it. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Once again, I want to remind you we're very blessed on Tuesdays to have Dr. History segment brought to you by Minnecasia Sales, 1321 East Main Street in Burley, right across from the airport. All your windows from Western Windows to save on your heating and cooling bills. All your lumber, they've got everything for you, including all the tartar gates and panels, carpet, you name it, it's there. With Zach and the rest of the crew, Minnecasia Sales, bringing you Dr. History on Tuesdays at 10:06, 1321 East Main Street in Burley. I know. There are those in the audience right now. There are those, I'm sure they're few in numbers, that are going, why? I think that's terrible that you would advocate possible violence against these people. Why, they have the right to speak out. Oh, give me a break. We've been listening to this liberal garbage long enough. It is past time to instill some value back into this country. Values of patriotism, honoring the flag, and especially paying tribute to those that have served us and this country. I will never back up, and I will never apologize for my remarks. These millennials that the under 30 crowd, maybe 35, give them that, crying the blues about, America's not fair to me. What do they do? I don't have this, I don't have that, I want it now. Well, work for it, you lazy bum. Work for it, like I did my dad and my grandfather on down the line. And some of these people stood up, well, I'm an avowed communist and I hate America. Well, great. Here's money for a ticket. Don't let the door on the airplane hit you in the posterior on the way down the runway. I have no sympathy for these people. Calls are, get off your soapbox, Zebber. Can't help it. America, I love this country. Don't forget we're going to have the weather forecast real quick, brought to you by Mad River Laser at 502 East Street in Rupert, and it's their anniversary, and they're giving away an engraved barbecue set. Actually, 2 of them. All you have to do is stop into the store. What a great time to sign up over the anniversary of their business and Independence Day weekend. And all of their ladies' purses are 50% off, and all of their stuffed animals 50% off. Holy cow! All of their T-shirts 2 for $20. You better stop in. 1-year anniversary of Mad River Laser, 502 East Street on the Square in Rupert. Here now, the weather.
Here's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Pretty much the same as it has been for the last couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 60. Tomorrow, winds picking up out of the west, right around 12 miles an hour. So that basically means it's going to feel like a hot blow dryer. Mostly sunny skies, high of 97 with an overnight low of 63. For the 4th of July proper, mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 66. Sunday and Monday, maybe some reprieve. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Highs are going to be in the upper 80s. That's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Brought to you by some really good friends of ours, and that's made. I messed up a couple of them already this morning. Aren't I good? Mad River Laser at 502 East Street in Rupert. Sorry, Nicole. And they're right on the square. You stop over and see them today. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jeb.
Yes, sir.
Sorry I didn't make it over there last night.
I am too.
But anyway, I was there spiritually, and I hope everybody felt it. So,
I know that
beautiful on the radio. Gina done an excellent job of broadcasting that, And when the flag went up, I could see it over here in my front room. I could see it because I've been there before. And I really appreciate what was done by George and Donna Mass and the whole crew that did it. And may God bless. And I'm glad them soldiers stood up back in New York and kicked the hell out of them people.
Amen. Amen. You know, Al, it's funny, but you know as well as I do that the liberals' persuasion in this country, why they're just, why those terrible, terrible veterans, why they came in and they scared those people. Oh, my goodness. And these scared little wussies, who did they turn to first and foremost because they thought they were going to get their lunch eaten? It was the police that they'd been criticizing.
You bet. They're just like down in Wichita Falls when I was taking my training down there for A&E mechanics. We had this group of gangs there in Wichita. You know, they used to run the world. And they raped a girl, beat the hell out of her husband that was an airman. So we got 3 loads of buses, and we went to town, and we got done kicking butts. The base was put off limits to that town, and pretty soon here come the mayor and the city council. Oh, you got to open it up. We'll take care of our problem. They did. So did we.
You know, and I'm one of these kind of guys that's not going to run from it, Al. We might need a personality adjustment in this country sooner than later.
Amen.
God bless you. I hope you feel better.
Sorry I wasn't there, folks, but I was there spiritually.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
God bless.
Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. It's a great day in the neighborhood. It is. Patriotism is reigning all over this country. God bless America. Take that, you liberals. Hey, don't forget Dixon Oil Company at 602 South 2nd and Rupert. Since 1951. Great service station. All the gas, all the heating, all the propane. Daryl and the rest of the crew at Dixon Oil wish you a very, very nice Independence Day weekend for the 4th of July. Dixon Oil in Rupert. You'd better believe it. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning again. Thank you for the rest of that story. That was awesome and put a smile on my face, too.
You know, Lorna, it just kind of makes you swell up with pride, doesn't it, that the vets showed up? And I love this. I mean, it was kind of like, look out, Matt Dillon's in town. Go ahead and strike the first match, and let's see what happens.
Just warms the heart.
Oh, I love you, Lorna. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Everything about that last night. The bagpipes, the motorcycles, and George and Donna did a wonderful job. You did a wonderful. It was just awesome.
Thank you again, Lorna. I appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you. Have a great weekend, okay?
You too.
All right. Thank you. I tell you what, I got other stories that I wanted to bring in this morning, but I don't think I'm going to go there. I'm just going to sit here and bask in the good feeling of America and what it means. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 American flags in this office. I wish I had 18 or 23 or 47 or whatever. America means an awful lot to me. And the opportunities that have been afforded to me. And cashing in on those opportunities involved a lot of hard work. But man, it would have never happened in any other country like right here in the good U.S. of A. And I'm tickled to death to be an American. And to those out there that are sitting there going, yeah, just sit there. Just vegetate. Just stew in your own juices. You liberals that absolutely you have no future. You have no outlook. You have nothing to look forward to except a gimme, wannabe attitude that you're never going to be successful. Don't forget our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, right behind Dr. Crane's office. And I'm going to give you the number to call for an appointment because they can help you. That's right, 678-1191. That number again, 678-1191. Nick Greenwell, physical therapist, and all the physical therapists right there, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, can help you with all the exercises, sports medicine, the hydrotherapy pool, school, everything, helping you get back to being you. 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. You get a hold of them today. All right, calls welcome. Come on, give me a jingle. This is a great time in America right now. This is a great weekend, Independence Day weekend. Get the flags, wave them, get the sparklers, get the fireworks. Don't listen to these knot-headed liberals that say, oh, somebody might get injured with fireworks. Better not do it. Oh, and there's another story out on this, too. Now the PC police are saying that the particulate matter from fireworks can cause long-term exposure to your health. Oh, just another way of trying to take away the 4th of July Independence Day celebration. Don't listen to these people. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my part to try to smash the face of PC correctness, and I'm going to go for the first time in years and buy bags of fireworks right after this program. And I'm going to sit out in my driveway like a mad little fat scientist, and I'm going to strike the matches to light them, and I'm going to sit there and go, ooh, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I hope that I offend some of the liberals that go by and say, look at, he's burning fireworks. Why, look at this. He's causing all kinds of particulate matter in the air. Yes, I am. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. I am. Whew, I got carried away. Why, I must have drank something in the water this morning. What's going on here? I feel it's infectious. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. Did you notice that the veterans who shut down the flag burning did it with class?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They didn't have to hardly do anything, my sweet lady, because it was just the looks that sent these millennials into a frenzy.
Yeah, you made my day. Reporting back on that story.
Oh, thank you, and have a wonderful weekend with your family.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm telling you, I am bouncing off the walls in here this morning. I feel so good about what happened last night. I feel so good about what happened in not only Rupert, but also New York City. Oh, keep it up. I just hope more veterans at more locations around the United States walk up to these millennials and America haters and do nothing more than just go ahead. Light the first match. There's Arnold Schwarzenegger personified. Go ahead. And Clint Eastwood, make my day. Yeah, there you go. Woo! Calls welcome, 436. Calm down, Zeb. Calm down. You got 2 hours left to go. Get the deodorant, Goob. Anyway, I want to remind you, too, about our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best tire value promise in the industry. And they got the best tires, too. A lot of them on sale, like the Eclipse tire for your passenger cars, all-season traction, smooth, quiet ride. And the Open Country HT for your light trucks and SUVs, all-season tires, superior handling. You're going to love this one, let me tell you. And stop in, and they've got tires for every need, whether it's your horse trailer, boat trailer, whatever, plus the front-end alignments, plus the shocks and struts, plus the batteries, and also the absolute best brake service around anywhere, anytime. You stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
It's going to take the veterans and the veteran supporters to take this world back. You know, we fought for this country, and we'll continue to fight for it till we die. Yeah,
but you know something? I'm not a vet. I'm sorry to say that I wasn't qualified to get into the service because of my legs, but I'll stand with you. I want to be with you. I want to go up to these people. I want to help America. I would have loved to have been in New York last night with those veterans when they stared them down. George, this is great.
Yeah, it is, you know, and Zeb, it's not just the veterans, it's the veteran supporters.
Yep.
You know, I've mentioned before during World War II, if everybody had went over there and fought, we would have lost the war because they didn't have nobody at home making their supplies.
Yeah.
But it's going to take the veterans and the veteran supporters and we're going to take this country back from hell to high water.
There you go. That's the attitude that needs to permeate itself in this world. We not sit down and get in a corner and be quiet. Stand up and be counted. And I'll guarantee you, as long as this program's on the air, it's going to be just like that. I am so happy that the millennials and the American haters were thrown into a pit of snakes last night. I loved it.
Yeah, what would have really put icing on the cake? I didn't see that, but if the police officers would just turned around and walked off.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Would that been cool?
George, write the book, man. I'll help sign the chapter. Thank you very much. God bless you.
You betcha, and have a good 4th.
I will, my friend. Thank you very much. That would have been great. The millennials sitting there, oh, please help us. They might hurt us. And the police would have said, baby, you're on your own. I love it. Oh, I got too worked up. I got to calm down. My goodness, I'm sweating, and it's a hot day. Coming up next hour, of course, the Chamber of Commerce report with Kay Cameron, and then, of course, we're going to be talking to Elkie Mariluch down in Elko, Nevada, and Dog Nation, Rita Ramsey. My goodness, we've got a whole plate full next hour. Don't you go away. Zeb at the Ranch. And I tell you what, I am proud to be an American on this Independence Day weekend, the 4th of July. Wave that flag proudly. Enjoy the fireworks, the ice cream, the families, the parades, and everything else. God bless America. I'll be back in 6. Oh, man. I tell you what. I feel the patriotism and the red, white, and blue and everything for this Independence Day weekend, the 4th of July. I hope you're there with me. Last night just was a regeneration of good thoughts about this great country, America. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome back, Zeb at the Ranch, with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, and all 7 locations serving you. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And our friends at Valley. My goodness, that scared me to death. What's going off on my phone here all of a sudden? Okay, thank you, Wheels. I appreciate that. And also our friends at Valley Wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch, including all your bug spray, right there at Valley Wide. Thank you very much. We are going to have Kay Cameron on in just a few minutes with the Chamber of Commerce, but first and foremost, I want to remind you, later on this morning, we're going to be talking to Joel Heward at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert, a family place serving families with his family and his staff at Hanson Mortuary. Doing so much, always upholding the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity and serving you, especially after the passing of a loved one. You need someone to rely on, and they are the folks. Always there to serve you at 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary, serving you. Want to remind you, too, the Cowboys are in town. They're going to be in Boise on July 14th through the 18th, and that's the real Cowboys with the Idaho Cattle Association Industry Convention and Trade Show going on and celebrating 100 years from 1915 to 2015. This is going to be a jam-up fun event for everybody with all kinds of things planned for that entire week. Don't miss it. Be a part of it. I want to get up there so bad and be a part of it at the Riverside Hotel in Boise. The Idaho Cattle Association, 100 years. I mean, that's really impressive. Serving the best of the livestock industry, you better believe it, and feeding the future. Industry Convention and Trade Show. Idaho Cattle Association, lead on. Right now, here comes Kay Cameron with the Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'll tell you what, I am so full of red, white, and blue, America, patriotism, fireworks, parades. Don't you rain on my parade.
Oh, isn't it a fabulous time of year? I always love the 4th of July. It's so much fun. It's so great to celebrate for such a good cause, and the weather's beautiful, and it's just wonderful.
Okay, now last week you talked about the great big regatta, and that must have been a huge success. What have you got cooking for us this week?
Well, Well, the first thing I've got to do is I've got to give a big shout out to my kids because I know they're listening right now. Good morning, Ava and Jake, because they are listening. So I have to give them a big shout out. They're not listening very often.
Okay.
But the first thing I want to talk about is this afternoon we have Senator Mike Crapo coming to the Minnetonka community, and he's having town hall meetings, and they're open to the public for anybody to come. At 2 o'clock at the Burley Public Library, you can come and have a conversation with him and visit and sit in on the town hall meeting. And then today at 3:30 at the Havern City offices. So you can take your pick, either in Burley at 2 o'clock or Havern at 3:30. But come and have a conversation with Mike Crapo and see what's going on with the feds and be informed.
I might also add, if you don't mind, Kay, he's going to be in Hanson in about an hour, and he's going to be here in Murtaugh at 11:30 prior to going over to your Burley location and Hayburn. I just want to throw that in.
Great. See, I didn't get those press releases. I only got the ones for our community. So, yes, get out there and be a participant and show your support.
Absolutely. All right, now, what else is going on? I'm going to roll this morning.
Oh, my goodness. What isn't going on? It is the 4th of July weekend. There's so much activity and so much going on. We had a fabulous time at the fireworks the other night over on the Rupert Square, but there is so much activity at the Rupert Square. There's great food, there's vendors, there's live entertainment every night. I believe tonight is the patriotic program on the square. Tomorrow night is the lawnmower races. They've got Forever Plaid playing at the Wilson Theater. There is just so much going on. Great food, lots of fun. We just had so much fun hanging out at the Rupert Square this week. So get out there and enjoy it. Lots of activities this weekend. The parade on Saturday in Rupert. There's a parade on Saturday in Albion. I believe Malta has festivities and Elba has festivities this weekend. So all kinds of activities, and get out and show your pride in America.
Don't you just get a little teed off when somebody walks up to you and says, "Oh, there's nothing to do"?
Yes. There's so much to do this week. It's just great. Like I said, the Rupert Square is just a bustle of activity. There's so many great places to eat and so much fun for the kids. Like I said, we were there the other night. We had so much fun. And live entertainment on the Rupert Square every evening. So there's no reason to sit at home.
Yeah.
Eat your dinner either at the square or home, but come down and enjoy the live entertainment. It's free to the public. Just come and participate.
Oh, absolutely. And enjoy what America is all about. The patriotism, the families, the parades, the fireworks. Wow, it's a great weekend.
Yes, but be safe. I know we went to the fireworks stand yesterday, and oh my gosh, it's so much fun. The kids enjoy it so much, and they get so excited because there's so many fun things to choose from. But first and foremost, everybody, remember to be safe. Fireworks are not toys. They need to be treated with respect. Shoot them off, but be respectful. Be careful where you do it, because we would hate to see forest fires or serious injuries take place this weekend.
I'm an old fogey, but I'm going to buy 2 great big bags full of fireworks.
Yes, awesome. We had so much fun. We bought lots of fireworks. It's so exciting.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, we're in a good mood today. I'll tell you what, wave that red, white, and blue and tell everybody how they can get a hold of the Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce.
Come by and see us. We're located at 1177 7th Street on the beautiful Snake River, which is absolutely calm as can be this morning. It's a beautiful day. Give us a call at 208-679-4793. Find us online at minnetonka.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
There you go. Kay Cameron, have a wonderful Independence Day weekend.
Hey, you too. Have a happy, safe 4th, all the listeners out there.
All right. Thanks, Kay. Appreciate it. Very, very nice lady at the Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce. Holy cow, I got to remind you, the Rupert 4th of July celebration, my goodness, 89th annual Salute Our Troops. And tonight, of course, don't forget they're going to have that patriotic program at 6:30 p.m. and the carnival and the food booths. And tomorrow, the lawnmower races at the fairgrounds at 6. And then on the 4th of July, big, always is His Parade at 11 o'clock in Rupert. That is all the fun right there at the 89th Annual Rupert's 4th of July celebration. Salute our troops. Absolutely. Hey, by the way, too, I want to remind you about, you want to have fun outside? You want to have fun in the water with the watercraft? Whether it's at the river, the lake, or a great big puddle of water, I'll tell you what, stop into Let's Ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and Heyburn. Number 2, call 436-4771. Holy buckets, they got all the fun items, the 4x4s, all the ATVs to get up in the mountains and really enjoy things. The watercraft, they got a fantastic service department. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Let's Ride. Highway 24 between Rupert and Heyburn. Yep, where the fun is sold. Hey, I know somebody else that's going to have a lot of fun in a couple of days, and I'm going to talk to him right now. Elkie Mariluch, my old buddy down in Elko, Nevada with the Silver State Stampede. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing today?
Not too bad. Elkie, you're just days away from the Silver State Stampede.
We are. It starts on July 9th with the kickoff party and Old West bronc riding, and then the PRCA rodeos the 10th and 11th.
And I tell you what,
Saturday.
I'm really looking forward to all the festivities. Let's kind of break this down a little bit real quick. The first night, what's happening on the first night there at Elko County Fairgrounds?
Well, the first night we have a tri-tip dinner. It's just a kickoff party barbecue. We'll have mutton busting, and then the Old West bronc riders, they will all go on the first night, and we'll have a Calcutta before the event starts, and everybody gets their first horse, and so we're expecting about 30 or so.
Okay.
And then there's going to be some music and dancing and all of that afterwards. So it's just a big kickoff party.
All right. And then, of course, after the dust settles for the first night, the next night, the PRCA, Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association rodeo starts. And give us a little background on that.
Well, it's it's the oldest rodeo in Nevada, and it's been going on a long time. We've got Marquee Rodeos out of Utah. They bring some fabulous stock, and we get top quality competitors here. We do all the PRCA events. Plus, we still have a mutton busting, and the Old West bronc riders will be getting their second horses on that night too. On both those nights.
Right. And then
after the rodeo, we have, right after the last bull comes out, then we have the Ring of Fear.
Right. Now, that is a event that is not for the faint of heart.
That's right. They bring one of those Mexican fighting bulls, and they put 6 circles out on the ground in this little arena. And each person stands in a circle, and they turn the bull loose, and whoever stays in the circle the longest is the winner.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's interesting to say the least. And that Ring of Fear is going to take place on both Friday and Saturday night, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
And nobody leaves. That's everybody standing up and cheering for that event.
You know, Elkie, I forgot to ask you the last time. Are you still going to have that great trade show in connection with this Silver State Stampede?
We are. There's going to be quite a few vendors there too. I don't know exactly how many, but the lady who's in charge of that was telling us the other day she's got quite a few lined up.
Okay.
So there'll be people selling Western items and art and clothing, things like that.
Okay. Now, I want to mention something to everybody, because Elkie was born and raised in this area. This is really cowboy country. This is the way the West really is and was. Give us a little bit about the heritage of the Silver State Stampede right there in Elko.
Well, it was started around just after 1900, 1910, somewhere around there, by that G.S. Garcia, who was a famous saddle maker and bit and spur maker, and his work it's known worldwide, and it's extremely valuable. But he started an Old West rodeo down here, and it's gone on for forever. It used to be called, I think, the Garcia Rodeo, but then they changed it to the Silver State Stampede long ago, and Elko was a cow town, and it still has pretty strong cow town roots, even though the mining has kind of overpowered it, but it's still a cow town at heart.
I got to tell you right there, Elke, I'm going to insert something on a personal level, that last year your committee gave me a beautiful, and beautiful doesn't sum up exactly how wonderful they are, pair of spurs that has on the side of the spurs the state of Nevada with a ruby in there that signifies where Elko is, and then it says Silver State 2014 announcer, and I am extremely proud of those spurs. And let me tell you something, those spurs will never be worn at a team roping out in the mud, I'll tell you that.
They are. I mean, the work in those spurs and bits, they're almost too beautiful to use.
Absolutely.
But they're made for using, but most of them sit on trophy cases.
Well, that's exactly where mine are.
Gets a pair of those too.
Yeah, I know they do, and believe me, it's a prized possession right here at my place, and I appreciate that. Elke, what about tickets, real quick? Are tickets still obtainable?
Yes, they are. We have them. You can pick them up early for early sales at Capriola's and Boot Barn, IFA. Yeah, Roy's Market and the Chamber of Commerce. There's several places that have the tickets, but you can also just pick up, you can buy them at the gate too. Okay.
I'll tell you folks, it has been a great ride for me at the Silver State Stampede, working with people like Elke Mariluch and everybody else. Elke, God bless you, and if you get a chance, call me tonight sometime. I need to visit with you about something else, and just to check some things, but God bless you, and best of luck at the Silver State Stampede in Elko.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. We'll see you in a week or so.
I'll look forward to it. Thanks, Elke. God bless.
Okay.
Thank you. Those are the nicest, salt-of-the-earth people right there at Elko, Nevada, the Silver State Stampede. Thank you. And those spurs, they are beautiful. Thank you so much. Hey, don't forget life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, all of this and much, much more with Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert, with Dean Cameron, Todd Siemens. I'll tell you what, they are just absolutely phenomenal people, and of course now Todd basically taking over the office, and we'll tell you about that more in the future. Very devoted to serving others, and they can help you. They will help you. Cameron Siemens Insurance at Highway 24 in Rupert, 436-4424. You called them today, okay? Real quick, before I go any further, I want to acknowledge some of the great sponsors that are helping you be aware of the 4th of July celebration going on over in Rupert. First of all, Magic Valley Carpet at 613 D Street in Rupert, just off the square, with all your flooring needs, carpet, hardwood, vinyl, laminates, tile. Over 35 years of professional installation, too. Magic Valley Carpet. And then our friends at Haskin Insurance Service, 629 Fremont Street in Rupert. Wonderful people. I know these folks, and they are really, really great folks. Mike, Dustin, Don, and Terry, over 50 years combined service in home, auto, farm, life, and health insurance, serving you. Right over there at Haskin Insurance in Rupert. And Doc's Pizza, 514 6th Street in Rupert. They're going to be closed on the 4th of July to let everybody that works for them celebrate on Independence Day. That is nice, but they're open before and after. Terrific pizza shop with cinnamon sticks, delicious, I mean good folks at Doc's Pizza. All of these businesses serving you and welcoming you over to the Rupert 4th of July celebration. I'm running late. He's going to chew on me. Officer Ken Mort, where'd all these dogs come from?
Who let
Oh, my goodness sakes, my buddy, sound technician, karaoke extraordinaire. Here's Officer Ken Mort. Good morning.
Good morning, Zeb. How are you today?
I got to tell you, and I'm going to say this from my heart, thank you for all you did to help us last night with great sound and setting up for the memorial last night. Thank you, Ken Mort.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I enjoy doing stuff like that.
Well, you did a great job, but now what are we going to talk about today? I heard a rumor that you have got some kind of a raffle going on.
Yes, I'm actually raising the money and stuff in that in conjunction with Modern Woodmen of America, and that we are raising the money to be able to purchase the new kennels we need for our new facility so that we can get moved in there. And we are holding a raffle, which we will be doing the drawing on Saturday afternoon, and that probably a couple of hours after the 4th of July parade is over there at Rupert.
Okay.
I'm going to be set up this evening, and that through tomorrow evening, and then again a couple hours prior to the parade over there on the corner of 6th and F Street in Rupert, right there by the Wilson Theater.
Okay.
And I want to thank all of our people who have donated to us to help us get this put together, like Valleywide, Home and Ranch, Ace Hardware of Burley and Rupert, Commercial Tire of Burley, Quality Tire of Rupert, Duck Uglies, Easy Money Pawn and Auto, Hans Hardware, Sears, Snyder Surplus, Redder Showcase, Les Schwab of Paul, Les Schwab of Rupert, Cat Country, Rupert Country Cub, Moyles Minks of Declo, and also our main contributor and stuff in that who actually donated a boat.
Oh my!
A ski boat that is a grand prize raffle item, and that is Barkley Truck Builders, our rebuilders, and that over there on 100 South, 500 West, just behind Stimpy's. The great guys over there, they have stepped up and that to make sure that we can get what we need to be able to get into this new facility.
Oh man! Well, where did they get the tickets?
They can come down to see me on the corner there at 6th and F, right there by the Wilson Theater tonight. I will be set up and ready to rock and roll by 5 o'clock. I will go probably till about 9 or 10, depending on the crowds that we have. We'll be there again tomorrow night at that time. And then, like I say, we'll probably be set up by 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, selling tickets all the way through the parade and up until we get ready to shut things down and start pulling names.
Oh, man. And you know, Ken, I want to salute you for the excellent job that you have done as Minidoka Animal Control. Boy, I'll tell you, looking back as to where they were and where they are now, thanks to you, wonderful job.
Thank you, Zeb.
What about a featured puppy dog?
Actually, right now, I've only got five dogs in my facility that are actually leaving this weekend. I'm going to be heading to the Oregon Humane Society, where they have actually stepped up and have started helping us out with finding our dogs homes. And they've actually found all 5 of these lovely fur-bearing friends of ours and had some great homes.
Oh, so, that's good news.
It is. I mean, the lady and stuff in that actually runs that flew in yesterday to come check things out in our area and also in a couple other areas, and that want to start helping us out here in Idaho to help find these loving animals and stuff in that good home.
Okay. Hey, real quick, a serious note. With all the fireworks and the noise and the hullabaloo, dogs get a little scared, don't they?
Yes, they do. Make sure you've got them in a safe place where they're not going to get away and run off. I know I had a lady call me yesterday morning, and she lives out south of Rupert, and just as the fireworks were going off, she had a big, beautiful dog show up into her yard, just scared as all get out.
Yeah.
And so if anybody lives just south of Rupert on Highway 24 in that general vicinity that's missing one, and that she said it actually looks like a wolf, but it's more than likely a husky, because they get mixed up a little bit.
Yep.
But they get a hold of me. I've got her contact information so that they can get their dog home, or back home.
I noticed last night that you have been out in the sun a lot lately because the top of your dome was a little red.
Yes, I've been spending a lot of time outside and at insurance and stuff, and that's the people like over here at the Rupert Square. There's no dogs allowed in the square. And I've been doing a lot of walking around over there, making sure that people aren't bringing their pets in, and also making sure that people are keeping their pets safe. So I spend a lot of time outside.
I noticed that the hair's getting a little thinner and the scalp's getting a little redder. You better put a whole bottle of sunscreen on that thing because it's really turning into a peach.
I will be doing that today, definitely.
God bless you, Ken Mort with Minidoka Animal Control, and have a wonderful Independence Day weekend.
And God bless you, Zeb, and you do the same.
All right, where'd all these dogs come from anyway? Holy cow. They're all over the place. Man, oh man. Ken Mort, Minidoka Animal Control, what a great guy, and has he ever done a fantastic job? You better believe it. I know somebody else that's done a fantastic job, and we're going to talk to her right now on the radio. Good morning to the lovely Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning, I'm good.
Well, I'm excited. This is a great weekend. Patriotism is in the air. I mean, what happened last night with the Memorial Roll Call Monument, and then what happened in New York City. Good things, Rita, good things.
Yes, there's so many bad things going on that a lot of times we don't see the good things, and these patriots in New York City, they just nailed it, just like they needed to.
Wasn't it? Maybe you don't feel as vibrant about this as I do, but I was just absolutely bouncing off the walls when these millennials and these America haters, they were ready to burn the flag and they were ready to condemn the military and the police. And all of a sudden the veterans showed up, and it was just through looks alone that made them cower like the rats that they are and run off and hide into corners.
Well, and as you know, and most people know this, we just kind of forget because it gets publicized so heavily, is that when things like this happen, the media a lot of times make it look like there's tons and tons of people there. And they scan and they make it look like, whoa, there's just hundreds and hundreds of people there. And usually they're lucky to have 50 or 100. And so those of us who want stuff like this to be overridden, there's more of us than there are those punks that are out there trying to bring all of this down.
I agree. And then that poll that came out this morning, I thought was really kind of humorous. 55% of the millennials, you know, these young, worthless, never worked a day in their life, gimme, wannabe punks, said that they would leave the United States. And my option this morning is, may I help you pack?
We will raise enough money for them to leave on a one-way ticket. So
Amen.
When they decide they don't like it and want to come back, they actually have to round up the funds.
I got to tell you about what I'm really upset about this morning, though, and I want to temper my remarks, and I can't wait to hear yours. But I will start this off by saying it is pure trash, garbage, and abnormal and pathetic. Did you happen to see the gay men, the queer men depiction of raising the flag on Iwo Jima, and they did it with the colors of their rainbow queer flag? Did you see that?
I did, and that just makes me furious. That is absolutely horrible.
You've got to comment further.
I can't even imagine how the veterans feel about that. There's still a few of those veterans out there, and I can't even begin to imagine how they feel about somebody acting like it was nothing, and what the conquest of the gays was such a conquest compared to the conquest that was done at Iwo Jima.
Perversion, abnormality, garbage. And when I saw that, I thought of my uncle that was in the Pacific Theater of World War II. And my dad and my other uncle were in the German campaign. And I thought of my Uncle Harmon and all of the trials and tribulations and the woundings and everything that he had gone through. And then to see that picture graphically destroyed as the image of freedom and patriotism for gay men to hold a queer flag. I mean, I was sickened by this.
It's horrible. And unless people stand up and start making a big stink about this, it's just going to continue. This is what the big problem is there's 10 times, probably more than that, there's probably not even 10% of them and 90% of us, and yet us aren't standing up and saying, no more, we're not going to take this.
Another subject that I wanted to talk to you about this morning is political correctness is absolutely permeating every part of our lifestyle. These liberals are just like carnivorous killers. They're going after everything and gobbling it up. Now this morning, did you hear that TV Land is going to stop with the reruns of one of America's most favorite television shows ever, The Dukes of Hazzard, because they, TV Land, don't want to offend anybody with the car called the General Lee with the Confederate flag.
I guess my big question is why did it not offend all these people all those years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was when I was a teenager. Wasn't that like in the early 70s when that was on?
Late 60s, early 70s, yeah. And I mean, it was wholesome entertainment. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got shot. I mean, it was one of the great TV series of all times here in America. But now TV Land, they're so afraid they might offend somebody. You know, I'm going to throw this at you and see what you say. What about the movie Gone with the Wind? What about the movie The Outlaw Josie Wales? What about the story, the book's out on General Lee and his horse Traveler? What about all these things? Are they going to start that as far as putting those into a closet and locking them up?
Well, I think that they will if we let them. The big problem is they are trying to be so politically correct that they're bringing back communism. And as I've mentioned a number of times on your program, this political correctness comes from the communists, and it came from them who were trying to make sure that if people didn't speak their same language, off with their heads, or they went to re-education camps. Now, I was kind of wondering what happens to a business when they have somebody offended and the judge tells them that they have to go to these classes and learn how to become tolerant. Is that not re-education camps?
Yeah, but Rita, where do you draw the line? And this is really a hard question to answer. Where do you draw the line on someone's being offended? Because no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you wear, no matter what you do during your business day, you run the risk of offending a certain amount of people.
Well, I think it's prudent to be courteous and not to, just slap stuff out there that you didn't mean if you're really in that kind of a mood. The big problem is anybody can become offended. It's their choice.
Yep.
Somebody can say something, and if I become offended, that's my problem. That's not their problem.
But let me put this in our what we're doing right now. We are giving opinions. We are giving the state of the news as it is portrayed across this country and this world, and we're giving our opinions. But when you give opinions, you naturally are not going to follow the political correctness, and you're going to offend somebody. Are we all going to have to put duct tape over our mouth?
As long as they keep making us, and if enough of us don't stand up and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. You people can be offended if you want. It's not meant to offend you. I'm telling you like it is. I have freedom of speech in this country, and I can do whatever I want. And if you become offended, I'm sorry. On the other hand, like I mentioned, we need to be somewhat courteous or whatever. I mean, that's just being decent with mankind. But this whole business of being shut up, because that's what they're doing, is they're shutting us up. They're depriving us of our First Amendment rights of freedom of speech.
Was it courteous? Was it polite? Was it really using their heads when those gay men raised that gay flag like Iwo Jima? Where was the thinking of common sense on that?
Well, it isn't, and that's because that gay thing isn't about them having gay rights. It's about them taking over
and
having their own thing. They aren't interested in their freedom. They're interested in taking freedom away from the rest of us. That's what it's all about.
And imposing their abnormality and their sick, perverted ways onto our schools, our churches, our businesses, our everyday life.
And recruitment, that's all it is.
Yes, absolutely.
It is not because they just want to have that, because they got that. But I'm sure that you saw that lady on Hannity probably last night who's against the freedom of religion. What was it called? Against the Freedom of Religion Act or something like that. It was kind of like, that's really weird. And what she was about is that, no, they shouldn't be able to have the Ten Commandments thing. And then there were 3 Catholic not preachers, but fathers, clergy on Sean Hannity, and they each had something to say about it, saying, you know what, you've got the freedom that you want, you're just wanting to do more and more and more till you shut all of us down. And we're not going to do that, because Justice Kennedy, in his dissent, he said, or it wasn't in his dissent, but in his summation, he said, you know, this doesn't mean that now they can shut down all of the people who are religious and take their religious rights away from them. But because of the answer that the Supreme Court issued, that is what will happen, and that's what's going to happen unless people start standing up and making it known that this is not going to stand and we're not going to put up with it.
Rita, isn't it totally ambiguous and ridiculous that in the halls of Congress are biblical sayings and phrases and mentions of God on the federal property, if you will, but you go out into the hinterland and these people go, oh, you can't have the 10 Commandments here. Well, my attitude is, make me take it down. I'm going to stand there. I'm going to hold those commandments. I'm going to stand and protect those commandments. You know what? I think that what we need to do is get pugnacious about this and say, you want them down? You come and try to take them down.
Well, I think that they need to have a lesson in the Constitution myself. Those people who keep, you know, you hear all these people, and that lady said it last night, well, what about the church and state? And
yeah, they're
kind of like, hello? There's no such thing as church and state. The deal is that the founders were afraid that there would be somebody like King Obama come along and make sure that we had a one religion for the whole country. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. That's the way England had it. That's what we're trying to get away with. So the deal about the religion and that the government will not infringe on it is that the government cannot issue a one religion that everybody has to be a part of.
That's right.
The states can do that if they want. That's up to the states' rights. So if the states really wanted to, they could. In fact, if there's a state that becomes the majority Muslim, they could turn their state into a Muslim religion, the whole state, if they wanted to.
Well, you know, and you keep going back to this, and I have many, many times on this program, the incompetency and the idiocy and the uneducated statements by the liberals saying, oh, separation of church and state. They have no clue how dumb they sound when they say that.
Well, they don't, and they need to be called out on it a lot more, and that's why it's imperative that we start paying attention to what they're saying and give them answers back to what they're saying instead of just letting them roll with a steamroller right over top of it.
I got to do the weather forecast, but when I come back, I want to talk to you about Donald Trump. And get ready for this, because I want to visit with you about a candidate that I am more than willing to support right now. So stay tuned. Stand by. Duck Ugly's 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. Oh, my goodness. Great food. Oh, on Friday nights, that ribeye steak special with 4 shrimp, baked potato, Texas toast. Wow, it's delicious. Now, this Saturday is the 4th of July Independence Day, so they're going to be closed. They're going to give their employees a chance and opportunity to celebrate and be outside with their families and everything. I think it's great. But go on Friday night for that Friday night special. Oh, at Duck Ugly's, it is good. Great entertainment, great food at Duck Ugly's, Highway 30 in Burley. Right now, here's the weather.
Here's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Pretty much the same as it has been for the last couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 60. Tomorrow, winds picking up out of the west, right around 12 miles an hour. So that basically means it's going to feel like a hot blow dryer. Mostly sunny skies, high of 97 with an overnight low of 63. For the 4th of July proper, mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 66. Sunday and Monday, maybe some reprieve. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Highs are going to be in the upper 80s.
All right.
Weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you very much, and brought to you by Duck Uglies, 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. On the air with Rita Ramsey. Rita, I've got to tell you, and maybe you don't agree with this, I don't know, but Donald Trump did not say anything out of line about Mexico. He stated only the truth. He stated the facts. He stated the truth about illegal aliens coming in. He stated the facts about following them, many of the very seedy parts of our society, the drug cartels, everything else. He stated only the facts. And now he's expected to be giving an apology to not only Mexico, but also the illegal aliens in this country. And many have dumped him. Macy's stopped selling his ties and his clothing. This is ridiculous.
Well, it is, and this is another thing where they're just trying to silence somebody. My question is if these folks are so good and so valuable to our country, why do they have to come here illegally?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they were of such value, they would get in line, and their openings to be able to come here and stay here would be expedited, and they would be in here, and everything would be fine. But they're not. They're coming here because they're trying to sneak in because they know we wouldn't take them otherwise.
You know, I'm more than sick and tired of these so-called liberal do-gooders, and one of them was Miss USA co-host Cheryl Burke, and she used to appear on Dancing with the Stars, and she said, in light of the recent statements made by Donald Trump and the subsequent decision by NBC to cut ties with Mr. Trump, I cannot in good conscience move forward in participation of the Miss USA contest. You know, these phony frauds. I mean, they sit there and they're waving their liberal banner, and it's killing America.
Well, these people are going to cut off their nose to spite their face, and if they just keep going, it's going to just continue to roll, and that's why we've got to put the brakes on it. You know, that deal in Twin Falls. I read an article that was actually, I think it was in one of the New York newspapers, and it was based out of Salmon, saying how those horrible people in Idaho don't want the refugees to come, and they're trying to shut things down. And those people are good, and there's nothing wrong with them, and they've all been vetted by the federal government.
No, they haven't.
There's nothing to worry about.
I am so upset about that refugee center, and I'm going to do all I can to draw more light onto that subject and kind of be the thorn in their saddle pad, if you will, over the next couple of weeks. I've got a lot of guests coming on the program that are going to be talking about the refugee program around the United States, not only just here, but Minnesota, Texas, etc. And we're going to try to show a lot more to show really the American public, and especially those here in Magic Valley, the real truth about what they're accepting into their community.
Well, that's absolutely right. And that Brigitte Gabriel has got that group together. It's called ACT.
Yep.
She's trying to get people informed about what happens when Muslims do not come into our country to be friends with us, and the things that can happen, and the things that are going on, and how they're committing all kinds of jihad, not with guns, but, you know, lawsuit jihad and all kinds of things. Just like I heard the other day that there was a place, and I don't know that it was here, but there was a group of refugees that were temporarily housed in an area next to a community center, and they started telling the kids, well, you can't wear your bathing suits because if those young men see you, then that's going to be bad, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And all the kids in the community center that were coming to swim and everything weren't going to be able to participate because we were trying to make sure we didn't harm anybody's feelings of the refugees that were next door that were taken care of.
It's got to stop. It's got to stop. And I'll tell you what, you mentioned Brigitte, and I want to give a little plug here. She has been a friend of mine now for about 6 years and has been on this program at least a half a dozen times. And I went to Caldwell a couple of weeks ago. Deanne and I did to listen to her speak, and she talked to me after she was done speaking. She's going to come on this program not only in the next couple of weeks regarding the refugee program, but many other subjects also. And so I just want to throw a little heads up. She's going to be coming on the air with us hopefully next week.
That will be great. She is such an advocate for us to become knowledgeable about what is going on and what this can lead to.
You know, when you look at the state of affairs, I want to go back to the 4th of July Independence Day weekend a little bit. And I don't know about you, but I really got a good feeling last night when I was over at the Idaho Roll Call Memorial Monument last night. Oh, my goodness. It touched me last evening, Rita. If you weren't there, it was just one of those emotional moments. It was so beautiful. It was America at its very best last night. Anywhere in America could not have been better than Rupert, Idaho last night.
Those are the kind of things that we need to be reminded of that brought us to where we're at and the freedoms that we enjoy. I had made some notes here on some of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, and I wanted to share those. They said they were sober men. There were no dreamy-eyed intellectuals or draft card burners here. They were far from hot-eyed fanatics yammering for an explosion. They simply asked for the status quo. It was change, they resisted. It was equality with the mother country they desired. It was taxation with representation they sought. They were all conservative, yet they rebelled. It was principle, not property, that they had brought these men to Philadelphia. And even before the list was published, the British marked down every member of Congress suspected of having put his name to the Declaration, and they were all charged with treason, and all of them became objects of vicious manhunts. They went through a lot, and we have to remember that no matter how bad things get, we need to step up to the plate and say, okay, it's my turn to do this. And it was just like during the Revolutionary War when, the troops were really down. It was just 2 days before Christmas that Thomas Paine, wrote his article on it was called The Crisis, and we're all familiar with it. It's called These Are the Times That Try Men's Souls.
Yep.
And with those good words, it helped to revitaliate the troops and help them get going. And it was on Christmas night, of course, that they had the great defeat over in Trenton.
Right. Rita, real quick, I've only got 2 minutes left, actually. What's going on with the Mini-Cassia Tea Party?
Well, at this point, we're just doing education things. We're going to see a video at our next meeting, which is a week from tonight, on the Ken Ivory on the federal lands. They're really starting to get a lot of pushback, and that means they're getting close, and Utah is really stepping up to the plate because they've hired some attorneys and put some money out there to where they can start fighting for their lands. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the process of the replacing Senator Cameron, and probably by then we'll know who the actual senator will be. I went to that meeting. It was excellent. And so we're just going to kind of do education things, and then we're going to talk about the Supreme Court decisions and how they affect what's going on.
Okay, so it sounds like you got a pretty full plate over there. And I just want to extend to you and all of the folks at Ramsey Heating and Electric that you have a wonderful Independence Day weekend. And I just really want to tell you how much we appreciate your candor, your open thoughts on our program. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Okay, and also I wanted to mention Senator Crapo is going to be at the Burley Public Library today at 2 p.m. for a town hall meeting. Anybody who wants to say anything to him or visit with him ought to take a little trip over there.
Absolutely. Take the time to be a patriot. And, last night, I don't know if you're into motorcycles or not, Rita, but last night when about 50 of those great big Harleys pulled up at that memorial and went, vroom, 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 I mean, it gave me goosebumps. It was fantastic.
Well, no, those fellows are patriots, so many of them, and those were the same kind of guys that pulled up to that deal in New York City last night.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rita Ramsey, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Thank you. I always enjoy visiting with Rita on Thursdays. Rita Ramsey, thank you so much. Let's see, what else have I got cooking here? I had some public service announcements all lined up, and then I lost them. I don't know what I did with them this morning. My organizational skills here this morning have been lacking, but right now I think what we will do is remind you to get out and enjoy Independence Day. There's a lot of various community activity going on, and just go check with yours and see what's going on. Maybe they might be having an ice cream social. Maybe they might be having an Independence Day rally. Maybe they might be having a speaker in the park, or whatever the case might be. And like we've all said, Senator Mike Crapo's in Hanson right now. He's going to be here in Murtaugh at the city park at 11:30, and then he's going to be in Burley, and then he's going to be in Hayburn, and partake of these and get the knowledge, ask the questions, be a patriot, okay? And right now I'm hungry. I really am hungry, and I'm starving to death. Boy, there's a great lead in. We want to talk about some of the great businesses you can go to and enjoy some super great, delicious food, like Taco Bandito at 2301 Overland in Burley. And they're going to be open on the 4th of July. Don't forget, come on in and get your breakfast burrito before you go to the parade. Oh, those burritos are something. Scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, and cheese and onions and tomatoes and sauce. Delicious sauce on a tortilla shell. Oh, knock your socks off. Delicious. And they got a new lime ranch dressing. Really good. Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. How about Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn? Food made the way you like it. Oh, delicious French fries. And the patio is open with the good weather every Friday and Saturday evening. Enjoy the music and enjoy the great food. And they got a kids menu. Oh, my goodness. And friendly servers. What more could you want? It's all there at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. How about burgers, etc.? 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. Oh, my goodness. They're going to be open on the 4th of July. Root beer floats. That's as American as it gets. Only 99 cents after 3 p.m. Oh, my, I'll take a dozen. And don't forget, they've got fresh strawberry shakes, and they got all the burgers and everything. It is fantabulous eating. And you're going to love them. Burgers, etc. in Rupert and Burley. And last but not least, the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. I'm drooling. All the milkshakes, all the different flavors, chicken fried steak sandwich, that is good. Combo meals, famous Farmer Brown burgers, everything at the AC Drive-In. And they got the orange and lemonade freezes. Those really are thirst quenching. They're delicious. AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Going to be closed on the 4th of July so they can celebrate too, but you can stop in right before and after. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. And I am. We are going to take a little break and then come back at 10:06. And when we do that, we're going to get ready for the Cassia County School Days. We're going to be visiting with Sandra Miller this morning. And then we're going to have Joel Heward on the phone, Vicky's Country Gardens. Holy cow, we've got a full plate left to go. You enjoy, you and your family, Independence Day weekend, the 4th of July. I'll be right back. Oh, boy, Independence Day weekend, 4th of July, coming up on Saturday. Good morning, everybody. I'm Zeb at the ranch. I'm Zeb Bell, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, our major sponsor, along with some of our great advertisers, Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, and Valley-Wide Home and Ranch. Hey, by the way, every Thursday, all day long, any size fountain drink, only 50 cents. Only 50 cents? Lots It's ice. Stay cool at Valleywide, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Really good, folks. By the way, let's talk a little bit about the Chadwick Sports Grill right now at 139 West Main in Burley. What is their special for today? Well, it's summer salmon pasta. Pasta. Is it tomato or tomato? Summer salmon pasta with penny noodles. Served with garlic toast and super salad. That sounds really cool and refreshing at the Chadwick Sports Grill. Every day they've got a different special and great menu items. Nice people at the Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. You stop in and see them today, okay? Oh, and talk about a ripping good time. I mean a ripping good time. Woo! They've got just oodles and oodles of fun things planned at the 2015 Oakley Pioneer Days, July 14th through the 18th, with the theme Turning Our Hearts to Our Fathers. Oakley Vigilantes, boy, they put together a great program. On the 14th and 15th, they're going to have 2 days of the four-cylinder car race. Yep, the bump and rub. NASCAR at its best. And then, of course, the Gymkhana on the 16th. And, of course, they're going to have the big rodeo on the 17th and 18th at 8 p.m. Fireworks those nights. And then basketball tournaments, entertainment in the park, chuck wagon breakfast, and at the Howell Opera House. Who shot Pablito Canchito? I don't know. All of this and much more. Oakley Pioneer Days, July 14th through the 18th, Turning Our Hearts to Our Fathers. It is going to be a fun time. Right now, I also want to remind you that we have a segment on this program that is known as Cassia County School Days. And I just want to say thank you to a couple of the great businesses that sponsor that segment. First and foremost, A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. And, of course, they've got everything for the babies and the toddlers, and they've got all the summer dresses, by the way, many of which are on sale right now, all the play clothes. They've got it all for you and your family right there. The games, I mean, if you're going on a trip someplace, you got to keep those kids occupied in the back seat. Yep, they got the games at A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley. And if you're planning on having a surgery, like eye surgeries, dental procedures, colonoscopies, carpal tunnel hand surgeries, please call the Ambulatory Surgery Center and ask them about how you can save money. That's right, 1344 Highland in Burley. Ambulatory Surgery Center, and the number to call, 677-8888. 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center and A Child's World, bringing you school days in Cassia County. And right now, we have the Cassia County District Curriculum Director, Sandra Miller. Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. I am very good. Thank you.
All right. Have you got your fireworks lined up? Are you going to go to the parade? Are you going to make homemade ice cream? Are you going to enjoy the Independence Day weekend?
Yes, very much so. Very grateful to all of our servicemen and women for all they've done so that we can have an Independence Day. Yes,
amen.
I am going to celebrate.
Amen. Now, you're the district curriculum director, and what news have you got for us today?
Yes, well, Cassia School District is embracing on a new student information system. It's a new student information management system.
I see.
And so it is called Milepost. And the state does require each district to have some kind of a student management system that will house certain information on students. Some of it is historical and, of course, current information on how students are doing academically. And this new system is unique because it uploads nightly. So when I first became a teacher many years ago, if I got a new student in my classroom, it could take 3 to 6 weeks before we would get any information from the district that the child left on their academic status, on any kind of learning if they had special learning needs, things like that. It took us a little while to get some of that information, but with Milepost, all that information will be at the fingertips of the teacher, and very quickly, because it uploads nightly from our student information system, which is called PowerSchool.
Well, let me ask you.
And teachers will have the information right at their fingertips.
All right, now, Sandra, right away, I've got to throw a red flag up, and I think if we're going to do a fair and balanced interview on this, you've got to appreciate there may be some people that say, wait a minute. This is too much gathering of information on the students, and it could maybe be played against them somehow. Are there security venues taken so that information doesn't leak out all over the computer systems?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Milepost is a secure system, as is any system that Kansas School District uses that houses student data. Every single system we have is secure, and there's no way that the information can get out to the general public. So we definitely make sure that all of the systems that we use to help teachers are secure, and that any information that we give via software is secure.
Okay. Now, how does this Milepost program, how does it benefit the student, the parents, and the school and the teachers? Really, give me some benefits, pluses and minuses.
Okay, so the system will have the student's name and just their unique identifying number. It will house assessment data from previous years. It will house any kind of, if students do need some intervention, it will house intervention plans. This means that every teacher that has that child throughout the school day will know what is best for the child in terms of a learning atmosphere, a learning situation, what kinds of interventions or what kinds of accelerated learning need to take place, because some of our students are advanced.
Okay.
And so we need to know that as a teacher in order to meet their individual needs. And so this program is going to help teachers do that. Now, eventually, we will have a parent portal set up, so parents will also be able to access that. But because it's brand new in our district, we're starting slow, and we're just going to take 1 year at a time and then introduce the features of Milepost to the teachers and to the students and to the parents, but we're going to do it slowly over time, so we don't want to overwhelm anyone. Milepost also has the capability of helping teachers create lesson plans, objectives, to house those, to test students, and to monitor which standards and objectives students have mastered, and how many times over the course of the year we have tested them on that particular standard. So we can ensure, mastery by using this tool and by including assessments and practices and lesson plans, objectives. It's also a great communication tool between teachers. Many times, especially at the secondary level, because teachers have so many students in the day, it is hard to keep track of all of your students and their individual needs. But by having Milepost available, and they can look at a student, they can see every student's individual needs just at the click of the mouse.
Let me ask you a question here, and I'm going to probably show my not really being informed on this as much as I should be. But education today, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, education today is always, I think, geared towards bringing up the bottom end. I'm going to be very blunt. Those students that maybe aren't progressing as well as they should. And I think far fewer times and measures are given or awarded to the students that are really successful and advanced. And I think sometimes the advanced student is brought back into the fray, brought down, if you will, because of always working with the lesser students. Am I wrong or am I right?
Well, I think that the perception that you have is probably fairly right, because we in education have been so focused on the students that need some intervention, that we want to get them caught up, we want to make sure they're where they need to be, that often the child who is excelling is kind of put in the background a little bit. But in Kaja, we believe in every child every day. So even those that are accelerated, we want our attention to be given to them as well. So by having a system like this, a management system that indicates to the teacher, hey, this child is accelerated in this area, the teacher can then plan to make sure that that child is challenged and is given, those thought processes, the problem solving, the deeper thinking that they're ready for.
So you're saying that milepost, the far-reaching effect, could create a more personalized education system for the slower and also the more advanced student.
Exactly. And it's going to give teachers the tools to be able to monitor student learning on an individual basis.
Okay.
And to be able to see if our interventions at the bottom end or our enrichment activities at the top end are actually making a difference.
It sounds to me like you're really on top of this, and I say I'm meaning the entire district, Cassia County School District, and I get a little sick and tired, honestly, Sandra, of hearing people say, Idaho ranks so low here and they don't do this right. It's nice to hear you say that things are going well and there are improvements in education, and we've got nothing to hang our head in shame about. This sounds really good.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I just have to put in a plug very quickly that you just said that, Zeb. The statewide Smarter Balance Assessment Consortium scores have actually come back, and there's an article today in the paper beating the projections. We projected our students to be in Idaho, overall Idaho, not Kaja, but the whole state, at a certain rate, and our kids actually came in higher as a state than we had anticipated. So I believe what you just said is absolutely true. There are tremendously successful things going on in education, and our children are going to they're going to reap the benefits of it.
Don't you as a teacher, don't you as an administrator, don't you as a curriculum director, don't you like me get offended all the time like Idaho, well, they're just a bunch of big dummies and they don't know what they're doing. That's the perception that's given out in the media, and I've had enough of that.
Well, I agree that we are much stronger than people give us credit for. That in Idaho and in Kaja, in particular, we are doing phenomenal things with the money we're given, with the time we're given, with the resources we're given. I think we get big bang for our buck here. I think that our kids are doing well. Kaja is known across the state for having some very, very high SAT scores. We just rank pretty high up there, and we're very proud of that. So every initiative that we can embrace that's going to help teachers, administrators, parents, the entire community with helping every student, then we want to do that. And we believe Milepost is one of those.
You're very refreshing to talk to on this. And Sandra, I appreciate your honesty and candor on this. District Curriculum Director for Cassia County Schools. Any final thoughts? I've got about 30 seconds left.
No, we just appreciate our community. We appreciate everyone supporting our schools, and because you know what? It's what's best for kids, and that's what we're all about.
Amen. Sandra Miller, you're a pleasant person to talk to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zeb. Enjoy your holiday.
You too. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Cassia County School Days brought to you by A Child's World, and they're at 1308 Overland in Burley, and Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland in Burley, bringing you Cassia County School Days. Thank you very much. Hey, don't forget, a lot of good things are going on over in Rupert. A 4th of July Independence Day celebration, and Dixon Oil, 602 South 2nd in Rupert says, come on in. They are a great service station. Gas and diesel and heating and propane. Daryl and the rest of the crew at Dixon Oil wish you a very happy, fun-filled Independence Day, 4th of July weekend. Dixon Oil in Rupert. Thank you very, very much. We're going to go to the phone lines momentarily, and we're going to have with us Joel Heward on the phone. Quick note, at 10:30 this morning, 10:32 actually, we're going to have Vicky's Country Garden. Vicky's going to be on the air answering questions about your garden, your flower beds, your upgrading of all the different things you want to do for your outside of your home, the decorative rock, everything else. Stay tuned, and if you have questions, give us a call, okay? Vicky's Country Garden. Right now, let's say good morning to Joel Heward at Hanson Mortuary. How are you, my dear friend?
Hold on, Zeb. I'm getting him on the line.
Okay, you're getting him on the line. Okay, well, I'll just wait patiently as we get him on the air this morning. And coming up in just a few moments, Joel Heward will be with us. And we've got so many things to talk about with Vicki in just a few minutes with the gardening and all the decorations for the outside of your property and, of course, the 4th of July. Let's check with Wheels and see if we've got him on the air. Is he ready to go?
The guy that is there, that is gigging him, he said that he's going to be on the phone real quick.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Next Monday on the program, I want to remind everybody, we've got just a moment here, and I want to say thank you. We've got Doug Johnson coming on the air, the Alliance Defending Freedom. That is going to be a really interesting segment next week with the Alliance Defending Freedom, talking about that Supreme Court ruling again. Ron Ellis with BASF, and then a very interesting segment next Monday at 10:06. What about Christians? What about Christians in our society now with this absolutely, I think, heinous rule by the Supreme Court? And then we're going to be talking about at 10:30, Dan Simmons is going to be on the air talking about 18 states, and Idaho is one of them, suing the EPA. And that's all coming up on Monday. Don't miss it. Let's check back with Wheels and see if we've got Joel Heward ready to go.
He is, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Well, good morning, Joel Heward over at Hanson Mortuary. How are you?
Doing great, Zeb. Good morning to you.
You know, the man with the perpetual smile, Joel Heward, my goodness sakes. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with Independence Day, the 4th of July. What are you doing over at your location?
Well, the 4th of July for us is the biggest day of the year. For not only for Rupert, I would say, but for my little business, because we're honored to have the parade start right out front.
Okay.
So it's kind of the start of the action, and just a lot of people gather here, and we love it. And several years ago, we started serving breakfast to a few of the veterans that would come early to set up their floats and be a part of the celebration, and that has turned into a big to-do for us. And so a lot of those guys and a lot of your first responders and people that are part of the parade come over and have breakfast here, and so we spend a couple of days and the night before preparing for that big morning, and it's just a great time for us.
You didn't think you were going to be cracking open that many eggs, did you?
Well, I can tell you I bought twice as many this time as I did last time.
There's nothing worse than to have a shortage of eggs and goodies for breakfast on the 4th of July, because where do you go and how do you solve the problem?
That's just it, because we get pretty landlocked in here, so when it gets down to the wire, I just tell everybody it's good until it's gone. So
I'll tell you what, I have been over there at the beginning of the parade in Rupert and watched everybody line up and watched everybody as they go around your business. I mean, holy cow, you must feel like all of a sudden the invasion has been complete.
It is. It's pretty much like that. My boys, they're pretty used to the routine. They've been doing it since they were little, because we used to come over when I worked for the mortuary as an employee. They used to come over and set up the chairs, so they know the program. Everybody's just kind of learning the program and knows what to do, and it's a pretty well-oiled machine. I'm pretty proud of how it turns out.
Let me ask you something, Joel. You've been there for so many years, especially on the 4th of July, Independence Day weekend. Do you have a favorite story or a favorite moment that you'd like to give us as far as what happened over there at the 4th of July?
Oh, it's always exciting because I'm a horse guy, and you're a horse guy. You know how that can be. There's always them horses standing around antsy to go, and to see them guys get their horses lined out and get them going. We've been fortunate. We've had a few incidents, but nothing too serious.
Right.
I'm always praying for safety, but I love to see that and see the guys be able to handle their animals, and just something I've always enjoyed. And
what about the residue afterwards with that so-called recycled alfalfa? Does that create a problem?
Not for me.
Okay. I respect that. Well, I'll tell you, you've been a mainstay over there in Rupert, and I mean, you are the hub of where all the fun for the parade starts, right there at Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. And besides that, how are things as far as you, your staff, your family? I always say that you uphold the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity of serving folks, and you'll go at different hours, and you'll meet people in different locations. You really are truly trying to serve all the public, aren't you?
That's exactly what we strive for, is to be available to them and do what they ask us to do, because, you know, we're the ones that, we know the answers and we know what the options are, and we're to help them and bring those options to them so they can decide what they want. And if they don't know what the options are, they're limited in their choices, and that's what we want, is to have plenty of choices for them to choose from.
But you know, the thing I want to reiterate to people is that Joel Heward, I said, the man with a perpetual smile. He is so involved in the community, so involved in other events, and you've got a lot to smile about, and that great city of Rupert always has a great celebration, don't they?
Yes, they do, and that's we just love it, because, you know, it all starts here on the night that the fireworks go off for us, and, you know, it's a week-long celebration. You know, people gather and sit on the lawn and things for that, and then just we're a block from the square where everything happens, the music and everything. You know, there's people coming by and stopping by, and people come in, and we have families that, you know, that gather in this area at the 4th of July, that it's kind of their family reunion time, and they stop in, and I've had them use the rooms, you know, that we have with the couches to just sit and relax and cool off in the AC and reminisce as a family. And you know what? I'm happy to provide that.
Oh, my. I tell you what, you really are a community-oriented person, and I respect you, and I really enjoy that perpetual smile. I've never seen this man with a frown on his face. So there you have it. Joel Heward, manager and owner of Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. Any final thoughts as I let you go on this, the eve of Independence Day?
Well, there's a lot going on in the community, and, you know, it's been great. A lot of these booths down here on the square for the 4th of July in Rupert have spectacular food options. But not only that, most of them you're providing for a good cause to help their organization thrive, and a lot of them are church-based and community-based. So every dollar that you spend down there goes a long ways to help in a lot of good ways, and you can do that. And if you're not up to eating that kind of food, there's always entertainment. Bring a chair and just sit back and relax in the cool air and listen to the entertainment. It's great.
There you go. There you go. What a gentleman. I tell you what, Joel Heward, my friend, Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. God bless you, and have a great Independence Day weekend, Joel. Thanks much.
And thank you for calling and having me on to wish everybody else a happy 4th of July.
You bet. I'll look forward to the next time. Thank you for your smile. God bless. Thank you so much.
You too.
Nice man right there, Joel Heward, and I appreciate him. Right now, we're going to take a little break and be right back with, of course, Vicky's Country Gardens. Don't go away.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb back.
Oh, my. Welcome back, and it's time for Gardening for Idiots, named after me, and brought to you by Vicky's Country Gardens at 185 South, 600 West of Paul. Number to call, the lovely Miss Vicky, is 438-5663. And now here she is with a flower in one hand and an ear of corn in the other, the lovely Miss Vicky. Good morning.
Good morning, Zeb. How are we doing today?
The heat's got to me.
I know. It's been kind of brutal, hasn't it?
It's been a little warm for an old fat boy like me.
Tell you what, it's just been a little warm for everybody, I think.
Well, now
this has been one of those times when it's kind of been, you know, we're not getting much of a break in it, and so it's being kind of a tough situation. The bugs are loving it though.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about. I was sitting in my Cabela's lawn chair yesterday, and all of a sudden I went to swatting and slapping and swatting again. They're thicker than I've ever seen them.
Yes, they're pretty bad right now, and they're, like I say, they're causing. We've got earwigs, we've got everything out, just going doing their thing on the plants and stuff like that. So, a fella come in yesterday with a whole bag full of squash bugs, wanting to know what they were.
Oh no! He brought in a bunch of dead bugs.
30 in there.
Oh my goodness! What are those little bitty black bugs? And you'll be sitting there in your lawn chair having an iced tea, and all of a sudden they feel like you're crawling and itching all over you.
Well, there's black aphids that are out that do that, but there's also just the little black fungus gnats. And when people start watering really heavy and you get wet spots, you'll have those little black. They're almost like a fruit fly, but they're little black gnats. They don't really bite. They're just more annoying than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of crawl all over the real estate and give you a headache.
Yeah, and if you breathe deep, they go up your nose, and it's just real fun.
Well, this is really a good program before lunch, isn't it?
It is.
Hey, we had a lady.
Fact of life.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we've never dodged anything as far as being realistic. A lady wrote us a letter, and it was about petunias. Now, I am really out of my element on this question, and she said, quote, the petunias have been growing like crazy, but they're looking a little scraggly now. Should she cut them back, and how far?
On petunias, a lot of times you get to overwatering them. They start getting yellow, and they start getting long and kind of leggy and lengthy and just not producing real well. It's a real good time to cut them back. If they're, say, running 6 inches long, take them back about in half, take about 3 inches off of them, and then give them some good fertilizer. A lot of times people are not fertilizing. They're watering a lot, but they're not fertilizing enough on petunias. And that's when they start getting out of color. They start getting that yellow look to them because they're not getting the nutrient they need. So don't overwater, and when you do cut them back, give them a good dose of a foliar feed like a Miracle Grow, the Blooming and Rooting from Fertilome, one of those kind, and give them some good fertilizer, and you'll be surprised at how much better they'll look in about 3 days.
Okay. Now, is that true with all summer flowers that are blooming? It would seem like way too early because of the warmth and the temperatures?
Well, it is. A lot of plants just need to deadhead things. Take all the dead flowers off because they keep trying to send energy to those dead flowers. So, don't just snip them off at the end of the stem. Follow them back and snip them down where they attach on to the main plant. And but yeah. Keep your flowers dead-headed back, and fertilizing is a very important thing right now on annuals because they're heavy feeders, and they do need, especially petunias, pansies, geraniums, those kind of things. They do need fertilizer, so you need to use your fertilizers at least twice a week on them to keep the color up on them and keep them blooming good. Okay.
Now, another lady wrote in, and she just had a simple question in a short paragraph, a little bit, less than a paragraph, a little bitty sentence, and it sums up and says, how do we get rid of all the ants? And I've noticed here at my place, there's anthill after anthill after anthill. It seems like I got more ants than I've ever had.
Ants are really, the last few years, they've been real invasive. A lot of them are the sugar ants. You've got the red ants. You've got all of them. Your basic bet is to just take get an insecticide that you can try to find the main hills and pour it down into the ant holes, or at least cover the ground around where the ants are crawling. They will take that down in and back down into the holes and kill the existing ones down in there. But it's just a matter of a lot of people pour gasoline on them. That kills your ground, so I don't like to recommend that unless it's out in the gravel or something to that effect. But there's we have an ant product that lasts 6 to 8 months that you can dust around the areas, dust your sidewalk cracks and things of that nature, and it'll work for quite a while, but they will carry it down in the hole and kill everybody there. But you just have to stay. It's just like every other bug. You got to just keep dusting them and keep putting the chemical down to get rid of them.
Okay, well, wait a minute. You said something a minute ago that really piqued my interest because I'm guilty of this, if guilty is the right word. On the pavement of my driveway, in the cracks, I've noticed there are huge anthills, and me being the sadistic cowboy that I am, I poured gasoline on and said, die! Is that going to work or not?
It does. It definitely will. I mean, it does. It kills them. But like I say, you want to use it in an area where it's not going to wash off and get into your flower beds or your garden. You can't use it in flower beds and garden areas because it will kill the ground.
Okay.
Because of the distillate nature of it. It goes down and it kills the ground. But in areas like that, yes, you can put that on there and it just fries them. And if you're really, really sadistic, then I guess if you want to stand back, you can light a match and fry them. You can have fry dance. But the gas will go down, soak down into the hole. It goes right down in there, and it will kill them.
Okay. What about all?
Like I say, don't use it in your garden areas.
No, I can imagine that wouldn't be the best and smartest thing to do. What about all the wasps? Now, every year I end up with a really bad wasp problem out at my barn where my tack room is, with my saddles and everything, and they seem like they burrow the holes through the concrete, the cement blocks and everything. They're all over the place.
They are, and this is when they come out. It's when it's hot. They don't like it cold, and if you can, they like to make nests in like iron pipes and things like that. If you can ever find if you can kind of watch them and see where they go back into, there are chemicals, there's sprays that you can get into them with, and you can stand back about 15 feet and spray the nest, but you want to do it late in the evening. When it's night, when they've all gone back in to where they're at, because you want to make sure you're able to hit the nest and really saturate it, because you will kill everything that's in there with them. And then most of these products give you enough. They give you about 15 feet that you can stand back and spray with. But kind of keep an eye on where they're coming from, where they go in at, and then wherever you think they are of an evening, go out and just spray the daylights out of it, because it will kill them. And it will stay in there and kill them as they come back into the nest. It will get them.
All right. What about the fact of going to an old Army surplus store and renting a World War II flamethrower? Is that going to help?
Make sure you're standing back far enough to where if anybody gets away, they're coming after you.
Okay.
The one thing about the chemicals is it drops them right out of the air. I keep some in my tractor because I've got a nest evidently up underneath it.
Yeah.
And I keep getting them in. And so I have a can of it in there, and as they come through the door, I'm trying to load bark and shoot wasps at the same time, and they just drop right out of the air if you hit them.
Yeah, but you really brought up an interesting point. I've got a 1949 tractor that still runs like a top, but every time I get on that tractor and I'm disking my arena, the wasps are all over me. What is it about tractors that they love to get into those things?
Well, because it's hot metal, and they can get up underneath there, and there's probably some little nests up in there.
Oh boy!
That they're living in. But you can drop. You can take and just watch them fall out of those nests, those wasp nests. If you spray that nest and they're in there, they just drop like bullets.
There ain't no way a fat guy on crutches is going to jump off a moving Massey Ferguson at 30 miles an hour with the wasp after him.
This is true. This is very true.
Well,
I don't jump out of my John Deere either, but I keep my spray handy so that if they come at me, by damn, I'm going to shoot them.
There you go. All right. What is the Vicky's Country Garden tip of the week?
Well, my tip of the week is have a safe holiday. We've got the 4th of July coming up. Everybody needs to be aware of, drive safely, look out for others. And water your plants of an evening, late in the evening, and then you're free to go to the parade. You're free to go to the barbecues during the 4th during the daytime, because your plants are fed and healthy and happy, and you can go, and then when you come home at night, you can start all over again.
All right. And I understand that you've got a brand new shipment of a lot of bark and decorative rock and everything for kind of the beautification of their homes and their property, right?
We do have, but we will be closed on Saturday and Sunday, the 4th and the 5th. Back open again on Monday, but we are going to be closed for the 4th and the 5th.
Okay, and I think you should, because you need the rest. You've worked pretty hard.
Well, we've had kind of a long season, and so still got to come in and water, but, It's kind of like a dairy. Cows have got to be milked. So.
Well, N is
the way it is.
I would really recommend everybody hurry. Get in there today and tomorrow for if you want to kind of tinker around the yard this weekend on Independence Day weekend and kind of make it more beautiful and a little bit more pretty and pristine. Get all the items right there at Vicky's Country Garden, 185 South, 600 West of Paul, or give her a call at 438-5663. The lovely Miss Vicky, I hope you have a wonderful Independence Day weekend.
Same to you, Zeb, and hope everybody stays safe and has a good holiday.
All right. God bless. Take care. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I like that lady. Miss Vicky of Vicky's Country Gardens in Paul. Absolutely. Hey, it's time for the weather. And the weather is brought to you by Scarro's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call, 324-7657. They are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. And they've got a hot summer barbecue special for just $199. Listen to this. You get ribeye steaks, New York strips, sirloin tips, ground beef, boneless pork chops, brats. Oh, wow! Total of 50 pounds of meat for only $199 at Scarro's Meats. 331 North Road, Jerome, 324-7657. Oh, it is good. We'll tell you more about it in a minute. Right now, here is the weather.
Here's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Pretty much the same as it has been for the last couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 60. Tomorrow, winds picking up out of the west, right around 12 miles an hour. So that basically means it's going to feel like a hot blow dryer. Mostly sunny skies, high of 97 with an overnight low of 63. For the 4th of July proper, mostly sunny skies, high of 96 with an overnight low of 66. Sunday and Monday, maybe some reprieve. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Highs are going to be in the upper 80s. That's your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you very much. Brought to you by Scarro's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. 324-7657. They guarantee everything they sell, and they're changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time at Scarro's Meats. Thank you very much. Don Scarrow and the rest of his crew, I hope they have a really fun-filled Independence Day weekend. I'll take some calls right now. This is kind of a little lull in the action here this morning. I would appreciate it if you give me a call. We're going to take time for about 3 or 4 phone calls. And what are you going to do on the 4th? How do you celebrate the 4th? What's your favorite thing to do on the 4th of July Independence Day weekend? Give me a call at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I normally, for the last 40-plus years, have always been gone on the 4th of July. I had rodeo. I'd be in either California, Oregon, back east someplace. I was always on the road. And the 4th of July is my son's birthday. And it wasn't until just the last couple of years, and he's going to be 40 this year on Saturday. He was born on the 4th of July. We'll get a chance to spend time with him and call him up on the phone and say, happy birthday, son. But of all the things that I remember about the 4th of July is being gone and away from the family, being gone and away from the ice cream and the fireworks and the parades and everything with my family. And now that I'm here, I'm going to enjoy every single bit of it. And give me a call and tell me how you and your family are going to celebrate this Independence Day weekend. There's so much to do, and there's so many things that are available. Don't sit there in the house and turn on the soap operas and go, oh, woe is me. Get out and enjoy everything that this wonderful Magic Valley has provided for us. Go on a picnic. Go to the parades. Take pictures of everything. Maybe make some homemade ice creams. And I think that's one of the things that I remember most about my childhood back in Wisconsin. It was a tradition that we would always go into my grandpa's on the 4th of July and we would have homemade ice cream. Oh, Oh, ain't no ice cream like homemade ice cream, and it was delicious. Call me and tell me about what you did on the 4th of July. I've still got time. Give me a jingle. And while I'm waiting for your call that I know is coming in, I want to remind you, excuse me, about a big tire sale going on at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. With tires like for your light truck and SUVs, the Open Country HT, all-season tire with superior handling. And for the cars, don't forget the Strategy tire, year-round traction, 60,000-mile warranty, and many, many more. And check out the great brake service, the best in brake service at all 7 locations of your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And, of course, the front-end alignments, the shocks and struts, the batteries, all of this and more, especially the best in service at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, including Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, the best. All right, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Most of all, I remember the flags. I remember the red, white, and blue all over my parents' yard, their driveway, up on the house. I remember all the flags. And I, at this time, also have to think about my dear friend Russell Smith, with every day going out in his front yard and putting up the United States flag and saluting that United States flag. I think of all the veterans. I think of last night with that great tribute to our veterans with the memorial, the roll call memorial over at Rupert. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
I promise you I'm going to behave myself this weekend and just remember the good times it used to be, and I wish we'd get back that way.
Isn't that the truth? And it goes along with my slogan, the way things were are the way things ought to be. Because, boy, the families and the fun and the ice cream and the parades, that was really the 4th of July.
Yeah, I will behave myself. And just a word of caution, Zeb, on your spraying with them wasps, make sure you got a wide spread because it's pretty hard to hit one of them things with a single spray.
You know,
Goodbye, Zeb.
You know what? Just a minute, though, Al. I don't know if that's the best method. I'm devising a better method that I'm going to put out for the public's consumption this next week, because that little spray when you're sitting on a tractor and 37 wasps are trying to get you, it ain't going to work.
I know it ain't. And you and tractors just don't get along.
Thanks, Al.
Have a good week.
All right, God bless. Take care. He's right. I asked my good friend Wheels over at the station, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I just barely got done working. I don't know what your subject was today, but I just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you and your lovely bride, thank you so much for last evening. What a humbling event, you know, and thank you for all the birthday wishes. Al and Polly, thank you so much. You know, you guys mean the world to us, and we couldn't do it without the help of everybody. That when we call upon them and ask them for favors, you betcha they all step up, you know, and give their help. Just wanted to say thank you, and I hope everybody has a very happy and safe 4th of July, and remember what it's for.
All right. God bless you, Donna. Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you very much. Very, very nice. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Thank you so much.
I'm going to have to get some lemons and bring out to you.
Why is that?
Wipe that smile off your face.
To wipe the smile off my face? Why would you want to do that?
I wouldn't really, but I mean, there's just something about the countenance in your voice today that you are really, really feeling your patriotism.
I love this country. Keith, I love this country. I like everything and love everything that it's afforded me and my family. It's given me opportunities that no other country would. I will stand up and I will yell that from the rooftops because I'm sick and tired of those people that want to try to tear it down and destroy it. And I am happy as can be that last night in Rupert we had one amazing Americana photograph taken right there at that Rupert celebration of the Idaho Roll Call Monument. And I'm so glad that our veterans stood down the millennials and the American haters in New York City. There is hope for this country, Keith.
Yes, since they did that here in Burley, I'll be right up front there. When somebody stomps on my flag, I'm going to stomp on their face.
All right, Keith. God bless you and have a great Independence Day weekend.
Is Michael Rogers going to do the weather anymore?
Michael has taken on some other jobs and will not be available. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. I asked Wheels if he would play a song that means a lot to me for Independence Day. And Wheels, if you would start the Battle Hymn of the Republic, I'd certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on this Independence Day weekend, with the Battle Hymn of the Republic in the background, when that flag marches by at a parade this weekend, stand tall, let the shivers run up and down your backbone, and be proud that you live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. God bless us, we the people of this United States. We can make things better. We will make things better. God bless you and your family, and we will see you next Monday at 8:06, right here on Zeb at the Ranch. Let it play out, my friend. Have a wonderful Independence Day weekend.